I know about it. I know about it. Hey Hodies, welcome to my channel. My name is hautemesstom and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today I'm going to be talking about a sale that I struggled not to partake in. I think that this is going to be maybe a helpful conversation. And I don't know if it's going to be so much pointers, but I'm going to let you know how I ended up not buying anything from this particular sale, which is in the title. But what I do know to be true is it is November. As you know, many brands have already started doing sales in the makeup industry and beyond. And it is very tempting. And as someone who loves to shop and as someone who used to spend too much money while shopping, this is a very dangerous time of the year for me, and it might be for you. I'm just gonna share my experience this weekend. So on Friday, I was perusing through Instagram. I got to my friend Kackie of Kackie Reviews Beauty. I got to her story and she said that Victoria Beckham was 20% off. Now, I didn't get an email, and I think I've also successfully unsubscribed from the 3 times I signed up for Victoria Beckham's texting blast, because I used to get it twice. I have 3 accounts through Victoria Beckham Beauty. I didn't do that on purpose. Like, it wasn't to get like a discount. Like, I did it on accident. I just thought I was using the same email I used the previous times to make purchases, and then I've used more than 2. I just like was getting those texts all the time from Victoria Beckham. And also, like, Victoria Beckham, it's not always a promo when you get a text. It's just like, remember this product. Victoria Beckham is actually one of the few brands that I like hold in high regard, high esteem. I try really hard not to have a favorite brand, but if there was a brand that could be in the running to be considered one of my favorite brands, Victoria Beckham is that kind of brand. So I got really excited and I clicked through Kackie's affiliate link and I started just adding stuff to my cart. I started adding so many things to my cart. It was like everything that all the work that I do here and all the work that I've done over the past couple of years just went right out the window. I did stop myself from purchasing then. I was like, let's hold off. Maybe we can reason with myself. But like, I added a ton of things to cart. I added almost every one of the colors of eyeliner. I added some more of the lid lusters to my cart. I added the jumbo size of this primer, which is very expensive if you know that. It was on a wait list, but you could make the purchase and then I guess they would ship it to you whenever it was in stock. I almost added some of the lip glosses, but I did stop myself. And then Saturday I went back and I narrowed it down to 2 eyeliners. And then I was like, I don't need these eyeliners right now. And from there, it just kind of was like, I don't need to make a purchase. And actually, as I'm recording this, I haven't technically survived the sale because it goes until midnight the night I'm recording it, but the day you're watching it. Sale's over, you can't purchase from the sale anymore. What's interesting is that Victoria Beckham has historically done this sale the weekend of Black Friday, so I don't know if she's going to do it again, but typically you only get like 4 days to do the Victoria Beckham sale, and then in the new year, she'll do like a skincare sale where like she puts that serum that she has and the primer on sale for 20% off. I didn't feel good adding all those things to my cart, and I've been in a lower place like mentally recently. You know, the time change like always does something to something to me. Like whenever we do daylight savings time, I kind of get a little bit messed up, and I wasn't feeling good this weekend. I was feeling as you know, I put out a video this weekend where I was like pretty sick and like I couldn't really talk. I still can't hear out of my right ear. I'm feeling much better though. Thank you for all of your well wishes. I've been able to do all of the physical things that I usually do, like work out, walk when I work. Like I'm doing all of that again, and I wasn't able to do that last week because I was just feeling so achy and tired and gross. I had 2 things going against me, right? Like I was already lower emotionally. I was then also physically unwell, and I was like, this will make me feel better. And you know what? As I was adding things to cart, at first I was getting that adrenaline rush. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have all of this stuff, all of this stuff, all of this stuff. And then even when I narrowed it down to 2 eyeliners, I was still like, do I need them? Let me tell you how I kind of talked myself out of everything step by step. So the first thing I added to cart was the jumbo size of the primer. If this is your first video of mine, I really love this and I think it's really great, and I would actually 100% buy it again. I have almost an entirely full version of the golden one, barely touched jumbo size of the Bobbi Brown vitamin enriched face base, which I also love. And I feel like these are fairly comparable products. Now, I do like this better, but my intention after I was finishing this was to start working on this again and finishing this up so I could come back to this. Not only that, add this Sisley powder, which is kind of basically a primer. It does the blurring underneath your makeup. I've been using this And then I also have the Auric Glow Lust and this Chanel. I have this Chanel glowy product that I always use as a primer. I don't need a backup of a primer that I'm not already done with, that I already have something to replace it with in my hands, that I already have a different version of. So if I really wanted to wear this, I have it. This one's just a little bit golden. I would have to do like a more warm toned look that day, but I have it. And so I was like, well, I guess I don't need this primer. But it was so exciting. It was like Victoria Beckham only does one sale a year, but it was just like what I know to be true. I'm not getting into the brand Victoria Beckham. I know I like Victoria Beckham, and I do think this product, after having tried it, is worth the full price. Not everyone's going to agree with that, right? It is a very expensive product, but for me to have it again in the future, I'd be willing to pay $90 for it. And if I wasn't willing to pay $90 for it, I don't need to pay $72 for it now and then wait till this one's done and this one's done and this one's done and then the Sicily powder's done. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't have to do all of that. I can just finish this one up because this one's almost a year old. Victoria Beckham boasts itself. I'm not saying that they are. They boast themselves as a clean beauty brand. And so the potential of something going off faster is higher because of the types of ingredients that are typically used in clean beauty. Again, I'm not saying that they are a clean beauty brand, but I don't want this to go off and I want to use it up. And if I have a second one of it, I'm going to be less inclined to use this. And, you know, it's going to be one of those things. So no, I didn't need the primer. I don't know why. I added it to my cart. The lid lusters, I did start adding a bunch of the lid lusters, but here's what I will tell you. And this is one of those phenomena that I talk about a lot in like Critical Sass, and I just talked about in my video where I checked in on my budget from November of 2022, is when I buy the right shade of something, that's the right shade of it for me. Like if I end up loving it, typically, it means that I picked out the right shade of it, and that's the shade that I would love the best. And last year, I bought the shade Mink. I like the shade Mink. I think it's a really great shade. It's what I have on my lids today. I have a lot, everything on my face is from Victoria Beckham that I have. But look at Mink. A taupey shade is very me. A sparkly taupey shade, I'm really into that. And I do love a dark smoky eye. I do love a black smoky eye. So I, later on, this year, bought the shade Onyx from Victoria Beckham. And you know what I don't do with Onyx is use it very much because it's not the same. I don't love it as much as I love Mink. I had almost, like, I mean, I was just adding things. I was just adding things. I don't think I would like this in a lighter shade because, as I just talked about in my last budget check-in, the reason I didn't like the lighter Hypnotizing Pop Shot from Charlotte Tilbury is because I couldn't do a smoky eye with it, and that's what I kind of like to do with one and done eyeshadows. That's kind of what I like to do with something that comes in a pot that I, you know, it's like, it's a very special thing. Like I want it to be like kind of a one and done. I don't mind doing other things, but the likelihood that I would like any of those more than I would like Mink is probably very low. I would have to see them in person. And with Victoria Beckham, I don't think you can shop in person for Victoria Beckham in the US. I could be wrong, but you certainly can't do it in the greater Pittsburgh area. So there's no way for me to see and try these unless I have a friend that has more of these than I do. But again, I wear Mink so much more than I wear Onyx. Not only that, I try very hard to be cognizant that like, I just get to try more makeup than I ever have in my entire life because of the work that I do on YouTube. I'm buying things to review. I'm also getting PR sometimes. And then it's just like, when is there time left for the makeup that I buy for myself? I like buying makeup for myself. And I think I have done a disservice to you and me if there's ever a point in my channel where I stop loving beauty and it becomes something where I only review PR. And I never want that to happen because I love makeup. I like buying makeup. I love the experience of buying makeup. I love the experience of wearing makeup. So that's always something that I would want to be interested in. However, I know how I feel about the brand Victoria Beckham because last year I did a brand review. So I've tried so much of it that I know how I feel about a lot of it. A newer love to me from Victoria Beckham are the Victoria Beckham eyewears, which Kackie gifted to me for my birthday. And I was like, oh, I'll try some shades of those. And then I was like adding some of them to my cart, and Natalie of My Skintrist slid into my DMs today and said, you need to buy caramel of the eyewears. And I thought, and this was just today, I thought, I could buy just caramel. That'd be fine. But that's not what I would do. I would still add more things to my cart if I was checking out just buying caramel. Kackie and I have a lot of similar tastes, and I do trust her opinion. Now, our taste differs elsewhere, but she often talks about how she doesn't like the shiny ones as much. And then I was like, well, why would I really love these two. Why would I want to bring in one that I could potentially not love as much as I love these ones? Like the math ain't math in there for me to spend 28 or however much these are, 20% off. I don't even know, but like $28 on these. Oh, like one or two more of these that again I wouldn't love as much as these two that I have been really getting on with. What's the point of me having that? What is the point? I don't need more of these because I'm very happy with the two that I have and I'm not done with them. Perhaps when I finish one up and like, if I like it enough to replace it, maybe that's the time I buy a new one where I'm like, okay, I've used up a whole one and I know I like this formula. Maybe that's the time I try a new one. But right now is not the time to try a new one. Not just because Victoria is having a sale, not just because Posh Spice said, here, plebes, you buy it now. The thing that was hardest to pass up were the eyeliners. So I have 3 of the Victoria Beckham eyeliners. I have Ash and I have Cocoa, and I also have Sequin Green. Now, one of the ones that I added to my cart was the shade Smoky Quartz, which was another sequin shade, meaning that it has like shimmer particles inside of it. I use this one the absolute least. This is the Sequin Green one. I almost never use it. It's not because it has the shimmer particles in it. It's just I wear a lot of sparkles on my eyes as is, and this gets lost in the sauce anytime I'm wearing an eye look with a lot of sparkle in it. And it's just like, well, I don't need this to add enhancements to a look. Now, I have kind of worn it as an eyeshadow. It's really pretty like that, but I also have better green eyeshadows than this. So this doesn't get a lot of play. And Smoky Quartz, while very beautiful, I think it would have a very similar fate in my makeup collection where I'd be like, that's really pretty and I like wearing it sometimes, but I'm not going to wear it enough to warrant it. When you look at how much I've sharpened each of these and how much I've used them, this one's Sequin Green. Look at how much bigger it is. It's just I don't use it as much as I use the other two. The other two are absolute staples in my collection. 9 times out of 10, if I'm wearing eyeliner in a look, it is either Ash or Cocoa. Cocoa, when I'm doing a warmer look. Ash, when I'm doing a more of a cool tone look. I like black eyeliner, but Ash is like a really nice way to like play in the gray ashiness of everything without going fully black, which is why I really like it. So I did add Victoria Beckham's black to my cart, and I was like, I have Ash and I like it better because it's like just a little bit less harsh. I mean, I think black eyeliner is very cool and like I love that really harsh look sometimes, but it's not what I'm going for most of the time. So it's like, what would I need that one for? And then I almost bought the shade Cinnamon, which is the new shade, which is like cocoa but way more red. And I was like, that sounds really nice. And I added that to my cart and I'm sure it's really beautiful, but guess what? I just don't think I would use it more than I use Cocoa. And it would also distract me from using Cocoa. The black would distract me from using Ash, and I'm not unsatisfied with these. And if I want to wear black eyeliner, I could do something with eyeshadow to give me the effect of black eyeliner. I have red, brown eyeshadow out the wazoo, so if I want to do something along my lash line with it, I could just do it with eyeshadow. It's not going to be the same. It's not going to look as good. You know what else I have that performs very similar to these but doesn't hold up as well in my eyes? I have one of the Surratt Smoky Eye Batons, and that kind of looks a little bit like what I think Cinnamon would look like. So if I want to play with that kind of look, I have it. I have it. I don't need more of these eyeliners. While I really, really love them and it is my favorite eyeliner formula, having more of them does not always make sense. I also added the purple, like maroon, it was like a red maroon shade. I added that to my cart and I was like, when the fuck am I ever going to wear like a red maroon eyeliner? I just am not. That's like not what I do here. That's not what I do. Very pretty, but not pretty for me. Not pretty, like, not saying it would look bad on me, but like the use value of it is so low that I just like wouldn't use it. Like I just wouldn't use it. And I know that I wouldn't as much as I use those two. And like there are some other things from Victoria Beckham that I have. I still have the lip liner. I'm wearing it today. It's fine. I don't need another lip liner because like lip liner is not that exciting to me and I don't think that's her best product. I have the contour wand. I'm not almost done with this contour wand, but I have it. I used it today. And this is something that actually I would buy again. But again, I'm not even close to being done with it. So what's the point of me buying one as a backup? I don't believe in backups because giving yourself this false scarcity of your own makeup is a very strange thing to do. And I think that's what like buying backups does. You're buying a backup just because it's on sale, but it's like, Are you even close to being done? This is something that I have already paid full price for. I like it enough that I think it's worth it again. Why would I buy it 20% off? Yes, in theory, I know that I will eventually get to it, but what if, and this happens sometimes, something else crosses my path that I end up liking more? Then I have this plus a backup of this, plus the new thing that I like more. I probably will very unlikely to finish this first one I have because I like that other thing more. Guess what? Then the backup doesn't get used at all. Just as an example of backups, I have this. This is the Kackie Perfect Blur Powder. This is limited edition packaging. I believe this came out in 2021. Yes, have hit pan. I still have a long way to go. Do you know what I did after I bought this and I knew that I liked it? They restocked this one more time in this packaging. The packaging wasn't what was important to me. At the time, this was a limited edition product. I bought a backup of it. Guess what happened? I still am using my first one, so I haven't gotten to my second one. Then, in the time since I purchased this, guess what? Kackie has made this a permanent product in their collection. So that false scarcity of it even being a limited edition thing that I have a backup of is gone. And you know what happened is I just gave Tiffany my extra one. I'm still not done with this. And since I have bought this, there are a lot of powders that have come my way that I also really enjoy. Now, I still basically use this every time I do my makeup, and I still want to finish this. However, I don't need another one of it just because it's on sale, right? And that's what could have happened to me in the Victoria Beckham sale. And then the last thing, I added some more shades to my cart were the lip glosses. And I have two in my possession. I have Ice, which is the clear one. It's not very clear anymore, is it? And I also have Tan Line. Now, here's what I will tell you. I've had these for about a year, going back to Clean Beauty, and I've also seen other people talk about the Posh glosses going off faster than other lip glosses. They're starting to smell a little weird. They still perform the same, so I've been using them, but if someone else had them in their collection and they asked me, I would tell them to throw them away. They smell a little strange. And not that I remember them having a very strong kind of sweet smell or anything like that. They're just not smelling like they used to smell, because I remember not thinking anything of it, but now every time I put it on, I go, that smells and tastes a little weird. I have these two, which I'm not even done with, because I have a lot of other lip products that I cycle through. Now, I would say for a year, for me, this is good progress on a lip gloss. You know what I have four of now that I really like? The candy glazes. And while I definitely absolutely love these, and I will definitely probably buy one again in the future because I really like this shade, it's kind of one of those things where it's well, why would I buy another lip gloss from Victoria Beckham when I have four other lip glosses that I love just as much as the Posh gloss that just came into my collection not that long ago? As you navigate any of the sales that come through, I implore you to use some logic. Be very realistic with yourself. I know a lot of you love indie eyeshadows and things like that. Do you have other eyeshadows that can satisfy it? How different do you think the eyeshadows that you're purchasing are going to be from the eyeshadows that you already have? Especially if you have a larger collection, because I find that the larger your collection is, the more likely you have something else already that you probably like better than whatever you're about to bring into your collection. Is more better. Is the sale good for you? And I do think that there's a time and a place to purchase sale. Let's say I had this much left of this lip gloss and I know that in another year I could use another one, then yeah, maybe I would replace it. And yeah, maybe if this was the only bottle of this I had and I didn't have a bunch of other backups, I might have bought it and that might have been okay because I know I'm almost done with this one. But that's simply not the case. And one of the hardest things to do whenever you comes to shopping is being real with yourself. And I think it takes a lot of being real with yourself to navigate this very high promotional period. Here's some other things I will say. You are not left out because you didn't buy anything. You can love beauty without purchasing new beauty. And you definitely can talk to people about makeup. You can also just, much like tell a child to admire and not touch. You can definitely admire something that's really beautiful online, and you can definitely admire when people that you know or people you follow online have the really beautiful thing and use it. And you can just be happy that they have the beautiful thing and perhaps know that deep in your heart that it wasn't meant to be for you to have that beautiful thing because it's not in your means. You already have enough beautiful things. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to buy something to fit in or become part of a community. If you love beauty, you are a beauty lover. Beauty lovers don't have to love shopping for beauty. Beauty lovers don't have to buy everything. You're still part of this. even if you're not buying anything new. I think that's really important. And you're still part of this if you're not shopping the sale. Well, content creators are making content around it whenever there's a sale going on. And like, you know, a very real thing about it, and this isn't to be nefarious, content creators do work, and affiliate links is a good way to support them should you be making a purchase based on their recommendation. But we all know, or you should have in your mind that, like, I'm not trying to call out anyone in specific, but let's just like, this is when content creators make their most money because rates are higher in everything, and a bunch of people are doing sales, and then a lot of people have ads coinciding with their sales. So you know you're supporting a content creator by watching their content, commenting on it. And like, you don't need to shop to support a content creator. There are other ways to do that. Just keep that in mind too as you navigate this holiday season. Again, I think you should use affiliate links when you make a purchase based on someone's recommendation because that person did work. You know what I mean? I do think you should. But just because someone's doing their Sephora favorite sale doesn't mean you need to buy one of their favorites at the Sephora favorite sale. Like, you don't have to buy something just because they recommended it. It's because they recommended it and it makes sense for you to purchase. That's when you should use an affiliate link. Anyway, I survived the Victoria Beckham 20% off sale. Will I survive the next one? I might not. I might buy the thing that Natalie recommended to me, and I might buy another eyeliner as a little treat. But as of right now, Victoria Beckham, you got $400 from me last year, but this year I'm standing... Well, that's not true. I bought some things from you this year. But this sale, I'm standing strong. Anyway, if you enjoyed today's video and you are new here, I would love to have you subscribe. The vibe of my channel is a lot of being very discerning about what I choose to buy in my makeup collection, a lot of loving what I already have. I do occasionally buy things for review, but the focus here is to have a collection of makeup that feels good to me and is like my absolute favorite things. So if that's the kind of content that sounds good to you, I would love to have you subscribe. Make sure you like this video. It very much helps me. And I'm also on Patreon at patreon.com/hautemesstom if you'd like to support me there. I've been doing mini vlogs. It's like a thing I'm trying. It's a way to get me to post more without having a ton of work to do to be able to post extra on Patreon. So if you're into that kind of thing where you just want to hear free-flowing thoughts from me, that's a great way to do it. I also post my podcast with Kackie of Kackie Reviews Beauty over there. That's weekly, so you can catch that over there as well. But there's also no pressure to join my Patreon. It's just a way to support me. It's not the right way or the best way to support me. It's just a way. I love a comment. Appreciate a like. I appreciate a share. Whatever way you support me, I really appreciate that you support me. I have merch. That's another option. Again, not required, but it's there for you. If you're into merch, you can check that out, see if anything sings to you. And I'm on Instagram. If you would like to follow me there, I'm prepping for Messmas, which I'm going to be posting 31 days on my grid over there. But the short form content will also be posted here. So if you're just in it for the short form, then that will be here. But if you want to see pretty pictures, you got to go to the Instagram. But again, if you don't use Instagram, you don't need to follow me there. That's it from me. Remember to follow your haute and you'll find me. I'll see you in a video very soon. Bye-bye. Friends. My dog is down here. She's like almost never down here. Can you come up on my lap? Hi, say hi. Come here, come here, come here. Because they always ask about you. This is Riot. Yeah, this is the baby. It's my baby. You're here. You're here. You exist. They know you exist. Bye.